My girlfriend texted, "I'm keeping the baby, but I'll put my ex-husband's name on the birth certificate." "It's faster," I replied. "Okay." Then I cancelled the lease. I stared at my phone, my mind blank for a few seconds. 10 feet away, Emily, 28, was sitting in the waiting room of her first prenatal appointment, scrolling through her phone like nothing had happened. 2 years together, 6 months living in our small apartment, and 3 months pregnant with what I thought was our future, and now this bomb dropped via text. I didn't know whether to laugh or scream. I texted back one word. "Okay." She smiled at her phone, gave me a thumbs up, like I'd agreed to pick up milk on the way home. My stomach turned. I couldn't stay there, pretending everything was fine. The nurse called her back for the ultrasound, and I didn't follow. I walked out to my car and sat there for 20 minutes, trying to process the betrayal. First, I called my best friend, Mark, a family law paralegal. "Hypothetically," I said, "if someone puts another man's name on a birth certificate knowing it's not his child, is that fraud?" "Absolutely," Mark said. "And if he can prove he was deceived, he can sue for fraud, emotional distress, financial damages. Good to know." I hung up, my mind spinning. Back at the apartment, I started making moves. Our lease was both our names were on it, but I'd been covering the full rent since Emily had quit her job after morning sickness hit. I called the landlord, gave 30 days notice, and felt a tiny guilty thrill of control. Then came the part I didn't expect: revenge, disguised as civic duty. I found her ex-husband, Ryan, through social media. Married, happy life, photos of vacations, his wife Laura, glowing in all of them. His most recent post: "Can't wait to start a family with my amazing wife." Little did he know, Emily was planning to drop a bomb on his life. I created a new email account and sent him Emily's text. Subject line: "Congratulations, you're going to be a dad." The message was simple: "Emily wanted me to let you know she's pregnant and planning to put your name on the birth certificate. She says it's faster that way. Thought you should know you'll be legally and financially responsible. Congrats." Then, because I was petty and hurt, I sent a congratulations gift basket to Ryan's office, with a card from Emily and the baby. "Can't wait for you to be involved." It read. By the time Emily got home, I'd already started packing my things. She asked casually, "Hey babe, everything okay?" I nodded and kept my voice neutral. "Yeah, just a work thing." She bought it, spending the evening excitedly talking about baby names and nursery colors, while I mentally catalogued what was mine to take. That night, her phone exploded. Texts, calls, notifications. I didn't have to look to know what was happening. Ryan was furious. Eventually, she answered one on speaker, not realizing I could hear from the bedroom. "What the hell, Emily? What baby? What birth certificate?" He shouted. "I don't know what you're talking about." Monica, his wife, was beside herself. "You can't do this. I'm a lawyer. If he put his name on any document, I will sue." Emily's face turned white. She stumbled through excuses, claiming it wasn't fraud. It was just paperwork. It was for the baby's benefit. I sat there, arms crossed, watching the mask slip completely off. The next morning, while she was in the shower, her phone rang again. Caller ID, Monica. I let it go to voicemail, but listened later. "You pathetic, home-wrecking piece of trash," Monica said. "Stay away from my husband, or I'll destroy you." Emily tried to defend herself. I stayed calm, documenting everything. Texts, emails, screenshots. Every little detail that proved she had tried to commit fraud. By mid-afternoon, I'd taken the day off work and moved out the rest of my belongings, leaving most of the furniture behind. It had been hers, anyway. I left a note: "Lease ends in 30 days. Good luck with Ryan's insurance." She returned, furious, expecting the apartment to be intact. Her texts flooded in, escalating from "Where are you? Where's your stuff?" to "This is illegal. I'm calling the cops." The police listened, confirmed it was a civil matter, and left. Her family soon joined the chaos. Her sister, Lauren, called, demanding I man up and take responsibility. I calmly explained her responsibility. She wanted to commit paternity fraud. That's illegal. I'm not abandoning anyone. I will take a paternity test, but I can't trust her. Even her father called, trying a gentler approach. I repeated the same. A mistake is one thing, but planning to make another man legally responsible for a child is not a mistake. That's fraud. That's calculated. Meanwhile, the Ryan situation escalated. Monica went full scorched earth, hiring a lawyer to send a cease and desist letter to Emily. Emily, in her infinite wisdom, attempted to message Ryan herself, trying to smooth things over. Monica forwarded me the screenshots. Emily pleading, Ryan firm, lawyer warning. I had unknowingly dodged a legal disaster by the time I went to bed that night. Emily was in a frenzy, overwhelmed by her own miscalculations. I lay on my side, staring at the ceiling, oddly satisfied. The gift basket, best $89.99 I ever spent. The next morning, Emily was still seething. Her face was pale, her eyes red from the previous night's panic. She stormed into the kitchen like a hurricane, throwing her bag onto the counter. Did you send that email to Ryan? She demanded, her voice sharp. I leaned against the doorway, calm, letting her words hang in the air. What email? I asked innocently. She glared. Don't play stupid. The one about putting his name on the birth certificate. You're insane. I crossed my arms. Insane. You were insane when you thought it was okay to commit fraud. Her jaw dropped. It's not fraud. I'm just trying to get better insurance. You don't understand. Pregnancy is hard. I'm stressed. I shook my head, stepping closer, keeping my voice steady. Stress doesn't make it legal. It doesn't make it moral. You try to make another man legally responsible for a child that isn't his. That's fraud. That's a felony. Emily froze, then stormed to the living room, flopping onto the couch. You're being ridiculous. I'm carrying your child, and you're treating me like a criminal. I took a deep breath, letting her rant simmer around me. I wasn't going to yell. Not now. I wanted control, not chaos. Emily, I want to take a paternity test the moment the baby is born. If it's mine, I'll be there. But I can't stay with someone who thinks fraud is a casual solution. Her phone started buzzing non-stop. Texts, calls, notifications. She finally picked up, and I heard Monica's furious voice from the other end. You stay away from my husband. If you try to put his name on that certificate, I will sue you into oblivion. Emily's face went white. She hung up, staring at me. You sent him the text. I shrugged. I made sure Ryan knew what you were planning. I saved all of us from a disaster you didn't even see coming. She started pacing, hands shaking. You're heartless. You don't care about me or the baby. I leaned against the wall. I care about the baby more than I care about someone willing to commit fraud. That baby deserves a father who will fight for her legally and ethically. Later that week, I started consulting a lawyer formally. I needed to cover every angle, custody, paternity, and protection from Emily's impulsive decisions. My lawyer reassured me, everything I had documented, the texts, emails, the gift basket incident would make a strong case if Emily tried anything reckless. Meanwhile, Emily was losing control of the narrative. She tried posting on social media, spinning herself as a victim of a cold, heartless boyfriend. Comments quickly turned against her when friends pointed out the birth certificate plan. Within hours, she deleted the post. Her mother, Diane, called me crying. Please, just be gentle with her. She's fragile. The stress is too much. I stayed calm. Diane, I understand she's pregnant, But being pregnant doesn't justify committing fraud or manipulating others. I can't let her do that, for her sake and for the baby's. Over the next few weeks, the tension was relentless. Emily tried everything: guilt trips, passive-aggressive texts, begging me to reconsider. I stayed firm. I moved into a small, one-bedroom apartment closer to work. I set up a nursery, bought all the baby supplies, and mentally prepared for the day I would finally meet my child. Then came the birth. Emily went into labor 2 weeks early. I wasn't allowed in the delivery room, which was fine. I wanted to maintain boundaries after all the drama. But the moment Sophia arrived, I requested the paternity test. Emily tried to protest, claiming I was insulting her, but hospital staff explained my legal right. Reluctantly, she agreed. 48 hours later, the results came back. Sophia was mine. Relief washed over me, followed immediately by a surge of anger that Emily had even considered putting another man's name on the birth certificate for insurance purposes. That was my daughter. My responsibility. My life. I called my lawyer immediately, filing for joint custody. Emily, predictably, tried to demand full custody with supervised visitation, claiming I was unstable and had abandoned her during pregnancy. Court day arrived. Emily played the victim, perfectly soft voice, tears ready, the works. But the judge didn't fall for it. My lawyer presented the evidence. The original text about putting Ryan's name on the certificate, emails, screenshots, and the cease and desist letter from Monica. Character witnesses confirmed my consistent involvement and reliability. The judge leaned forward. Ma'am, did you actually plan to put another man's name on a birth certificate? Emily faltered. I thought it was easier for insurance. The ruling was clear. Joint legal custody with a graduated physical custody schedule. I would have Sophia every weekend, eventually moving to a 50/50ths schedule when she was 6 months old. Emily was ordered to attend counseling for at least 6 months, and any attempt at parental alienation would result in revisiting the custody arrangement. Emily lost it, screaming, crying, claiming I was stealing her baby. The judge warned her about contempt. Her mother had to physically remove her from the courtroom. The aftermath was interesting. Emily tried to manipulate friends and family, painting me as a deadbeat. But the evidence was solid. Ryan and Monica, surprisingly, even sent me a congratulations card when Sophia was born, bonding over the chaos Emily almost caused. Sophia herself didn't care about the drama. She wanted her bottle, her snuggles, and that was enough. I had a whole nursery ready, pink everything, maybe over the top, but perfect for her. Emily tried one last manipulation, asking me to cover her electricity bill for Sophia's sake. I sent her small amounts with notes, $20 for her nightlight, $5 for tissues. She blocked me on Venmo. Worth it. I sat back, finally breathing. I was a single dad at 31, navigating legal battles, betrayal, and chaos. But Sophia was mine, safe, and loved. And honestly, that gift basket to Ryan's office, probably the best $89.99 I ever spent. The weeks after the court ruling were quiet, if you can even call it that. Emily was still struggling to accept the custody arrangement. She tried subtle manipulations, at first texting Sophia during my weekends, asking for updates on bottles and naps. I kept responses minimal and factual. No emotion. No engagement. Sophia, though, was blissfully unaware of the chaos surrounding her arrival. She laughed, cooed, and waved at me like I was her whole world. Every weekend I had her, I felt a mix of joy and disbelief. This tiny human had the power to heal and to challenge everything I thought I knew about life. Emily tried one last, desperate move. She petitioned the court to modify custody, claiming the arrangement was too strict and prevented a proper bond. Her lawyer painted me as distant and uncooperative. I sighed. My lawyer prepared meticulously. Paternity texts, emails, the gift basket incident, court rulings, and even character witnesses from neighbors and Sophia's pediatrician. Court day came again. Emily sat there, eyes red, rehearsed tears at the ready. I sat calmly, holding Sophia in a carrier, her tiny hands wrapped around my fingers. The judge, familiar with the case, listened as Emily's lawyer spoke. Then, my lawyer presented the evidence again, emphasizing the original plan to commit fraud, Emily's manipulation, and my consistency as a father. The judge's ruling was swift, no change. Joint legal custody stood. Physical custody would continue as planned, with a transition to 50/50ths in 6 months. Any attempt at parental alienation, any interference with my time, and the court would revisit custody immediately. Emily was visibly furious, but had no recourse. After court, Emily tried one last act of manipulation via social media, posting about her struggles and trying to garner sympathy. Friends and mutual acquaintances quickly pointed out the birth certificate fiasco. Within hours, she deleted the post. Sophia didn't care about any of it. She only cared about her dad. We spent weekends together, morning bottles, naps, walks in the park, reading picture books, assembling a nursery that was maybe a little too pink, but perfect for her. Every milestone, first smile, first giggle, first roll over felt like a victory, a small reclamation of normalcy in a life turned upside down. Emily, meanwhile, tried to guilt-trip me through her family. Her mum called crying, pleading, please, just forgive her. She's under so much stress. I stayed calm. She's under stress because she made choices that endangered others. Diane, I can't let that happen to Sophia. Emily eventually started to accept her role in the arrangement, but not without complaints. She asked me to cover bills, help with rent, or lend money for baby supplies. I complied only minimally, with small amounts labeled for specific needs. She blocked me on Venmo when she realized I wouldn't give freely. Worth it, I spent time building a life for Sophia. I bought a small apartment close to work, decorated a nursery, and stocked it with everything she could need. Pink everything, soft toys, books lining the shelves. I wanted her to have a space that was hers and hers alone. Sanctuary free from the chaos of her mother's past choices. The most satisfying part. Ryan and Monica. Despite all the tension, they eventually reached out with a small card congratulating me on Sophia. It was awkward, but genuine. They were relieved their marriage wasn't entangled in Emily's schemes, and maybe, in some strange way, we bonded over dodging the disaster together. I became a single dad at 31, navigating life with Sophia 3 days a week. Soon to be 50/50ths. I worked full-time, managed a home, and took on all the responsibilities of parenthood. The gift basket to Ryan's office, the careful documentation of Emily's attempts at fraud, it all felt worth it. I had protected my child. I had reclaimed my life. Every time Emily tried to push boundaries, asking for money, trying to contact me outside of custody hours, or implying I was being cold, I reminded myself of the stakes. Sophia needed stability. She didn't need her parents' drama. She needed her dad, who would fight, legally and ethically, for her well-being. 3 months after Sophia was born, I could finally breathe. Emily had started attending court-ordered counseling. She had a limited role in Sophia's life, bound by law and court orders. I had a nursery, a life built around my daughter, and a court system that recognized my parental rights. Sophia herself was perfect. Blissfully unaware of the chaos surrounding her birth, she cooed, laughed, and slept peacefully in her little crib. Her giggles were the sweetest sound, a reminder that despite all the betrayal and manipulation, I had succeeded in one thing that truly mattered, protecting and loving my daughter. And as I watched her curl up in her pink blankets one evening, tiny fingers clutching a stuffed bear, I realized the truth. All the drama, the gift basket, the legal battles, it was worth every ounce of stress and every sleepless night. Sophia was safe. Sophia was mine. And for her, I would endure anything. Because at the end of the day, no amount of manipulation, fraud, or betrayal could take away the bond I already had with my daughter. And that bond, that unbreakable connection, was everything.